So we're going live now. Okay, so we're live now. All right. Okay. Hey everyone, this is Princess Roy. Today is another wonderful day because you know that when the Pinky Room show comes live, there is, nothing else. Like everything has to give way. Oh wow. We've just had people tuning in now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, whilst you tune in, let me tell you this. Whilst you tune in, please, please, please don't forget to share the link, right? We are live now on Roy Network. Okay, I'm now having messages already. Thank you. Thank you. Please share your comments. Wow. Okay. Thank you guys. I'm so honored. Right. So we live now on the Pinky Room Show, and today is our April episode. Okay, live on the Pinky Room Show. Today is a different thing altogether, different level altogether, because I've got one amazing, talented person on the show, and he's gonna introduce himself. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything about him. I want him to introduce himself to you. But before then, like you know how we do it. We have on the Pinky Room Show, we have uh our episodes, our stages that we do, right? What is going on segment, okay? Our funny segment. So today, your question that you sent to me, right? For me to ask our special guest today, I'm going to ask him, okay? Our funny segment, okay? So yeah, I'm going to do it, right? And also, like I said, we are live now on Roy Network on YouTube, on Aberdeen TV, right? And also Lively TV and YKA TV. Right. So please, wherever you're watching from, thank you. I've seen your likes. I've seen your views. Please, thank you. Don't forget, the topic is so crucial. The topic is very important. These are the topics that we need to discuss because things are happening. Like you watched last month, you saw what we discussed about. You heard what we discussed about. You saw the things that we were saying. It was very, very, emotional, touching, very educative, and these are the topics that we have to talk about. This is what the world has to hear. Before I introduce the topic to you, okay, I would like my guest, my special guest, to introduce himself to me, and I will tell you how I got in touch with him and to drag him on the Pinky Room show. I will not say drag because he's an amazing person, right? So I didn't even drag him. I just tell him, and as nice and kind as he is, right? He's just accepted to come on the Pink Room show. So we are blessed. We are going global. As we are already global, we are having the biggest celebrities on the Pink Room show, as I always give to you. All right. So, ta-da! Tim, can you please introduce yourself to us? Who are you? And
sure.
Yeah, why are you on the Pink Room show today?
Hi, my name's Tim Shelburne. I'm an actor, producer, director in New York City. Right. And you might know me recently from a Netflix movie, Here Love Lies. It was Tope Oshin's movie. Yeah. And that's my thing that I do. I'm on the show because Princess Roy reached out to me and I was like, this sounds cool. So
that's it.
Here we go. Yeah.
Right. See, he just mentioned a few movies, but guys, that's not just the movies that he's done. I mean, if you saw the trailer, you saw the adverts, you saw some of the movies that we have in. That was just a tip of the iceberg. So you need to find him. You need to, look for this great. Are you a writer? You're a producer, and you are a director as well.
Yeah.
Right. And one of the movies he directed that movies. What was the title of the movie again?
The one that I'm writing and directing.
You directed, yes.
It's called Love at War. We're in the process of trying to find money for it right now. So we shot a trailer. We're looking for investors. It's the story.
Yeah. So if you watch it, you can invest. Please, this is a big thing that is coming out. So you have to invest. You have to invest into it because you saw the adverts and you saw where he was the one that he was being kicked on the floor, right? Trying to defend himself. I don't know why. I think he was just being stubborn because they told him not to go. The man said, I'm going to handle it. And he said, well, you thought I'm going to leave you to come alone? So that was the movie. So before we finish, we will let him do a slight acting for us to see. So that Right.
You
So
didn't tell me about this. I don't know if this is fair. I feel like I'm walking into a trap.
right, right. Just a trap, just a little trap. So not a big one. Not a big one. All right. So on the on the Pink Room Show, we have a 3 segments. So we have the funny segment, we have what is going on segment, and then we come on the main topic. So today on our funny segment, right? One of our audience said we should ask you, okay. So if in case, right, we give you, say, should I say $5,000,
Okay.
right? $5,000, right? And for you to kiss, what should we say? Um, a very dirty, dirty pig. Would you do it? You know the one that is dirty, like proper dirty pig. Would you do it? $5,000.
To kiss?
A
What?
kiss, like proper kissing. Would you do it?
I don't know if I'm understanding. You're asking me if I would kiss a picture? Or
Not a picture, a proper pig. Like pig, not a picture. You know the animal pig. The
a pig.
Pig, yes.
Yeah, I'd kiss a pig for $5,000.
Would you?
Yeah, you wouldn't?
I
Man, you
wouldn't
must
do
be
it.
rolling in it. I don't know, man.
Right. This
We're
is the
living
next
different
one.
lives here.
Right. So
I
will
don't
you
know. Am I allowed to put lipstick on it first?
no, no. You're not gonna
No.
make
Oh.
it look good before. No, no. I'm saying the dirty one with the lip dirty. Would you for £5,000? Would you do it?
I'd probably ask what else I could do for more.
Right. Okay. Okay. So are you expecting us to give you something more, or just you know, would you like us to increase the money or something, or
Oh,
ten
man,
thousand dollars or
taking up this.
something?
Let's stick with the kiss. We'll stick with the kiss. Yeah.
All
Don't take
right.
my jokes too seriously. This won't go well.
Right. So guys, you heard him. You heard Tim. Tim said that. So you did say you will or not?
Sure. Give
Sure,
me the
you
pig.
will. Okay. Okay. So you heard him. He said sure he will do it. Okay.
How
So
serious is this kiss? Is this like a deep,
very
passionate
serious.
kiss?
Very serious. We mean like, kiss, like, let me say kissing your girl, like a girlfriend. Would you do it?
This is a girlfriend I like.
Kissing like your girlfriend that you like.
I feel like I would say yes. I'd be like, yeah, let's do it. No problem. And then you hand me the pig and I'd be like, I don't know, man. Does it bite?
Right.
Does it like smells funny? I don't know.
Yeah, so you consider the smell and everything. And some of these pigs, they can be very, filthy, like, like very dirty.
Yeah.
Very yeah. Are you gonna think about it twice, or are you gonna make your decision now?
Now I'm gonna be dreaming about it. You're incepting it in my head.
Right. Okay. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. So Tim is saying that either he's not even sure because he might think about it twice. Okay. So the next episode, the next segment that we have on the show is what is going on segment. So on what is going on segment, we discuss about the things that are happening in this world, these things that sad things that's happening, there was this incident that happened in some way in the US, right? That I think I saw it on Instagram, and there was this black guy who was going to pick his sister up. Say I think the mom, took the sister to a child minding, right? A child minder or something. He was asked to pick the sister up, and he went to a wrong address. I don't know if you heard that thing. Went to the wrong address, and he was shot. Not like he went to rob, or he didn't go there to cause any problems. He just went there to pick his sister. But then the address that he was given, he went to the different one, and he got shot. And my question is, what is going on? What is going on?
I mean, so the one that I know, I don't know that's specific one.
Right.
Maybe it's the same story and we're getting different messages. The one that I know is there was a delivery driver who was dropping off, who was like taking food.
Right.
And accidentally went to the wrong address and the guy shot him through the door.
Right.
And I mean, like from my side, I'm not in, I don't dig into these because it's kind of hard to get
Yeah.
the real story
Sorry.
here.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's pretty hard to look at that and find a favorable where it's like, how could this possibly be justified?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think the crazy thing is in a lot of states here, they have
Mm.
this stand your ground law where it's
Yeah.
like if someone is on your property, you're allowed to do essentially like whatever you want to do.
Really?
And it's yeah. And I mean, the problem is they make the law really vague and then people interpret it that way and then things
Right.
don't get enforced. People do crazy shit, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's so messed up. It's
Yeah. I think so this is a similar one too, because that the one I'm talking about was a young guy. It was
yeah.
I think a teenager, I think 16 years or something,
Yeah.
that shot. So you mean that the government is a law that if someone is coming to your property, you can do anything that.
It's this thing, a lot of southern states in particular have this law called stand your ground, where it's something like I'm not a lawyer. I haven't
Yeah.
dug in and know the particulars, but it's something to the effect of
Right.
if someone comes on your property and you feel threatened, you're
Yeah.
allowed to defend yourself. And that's been taken to say like even with lethal force. So like way back when the Trayvon Martin stuff, that like this has been happening for like a decade at
Right.
least, where these cases come in and you get usually someone older who says, I'm standing my ground, I was scared, so I'm allowed to use my gun and shoot someone because they came on my property. And I don't know. It's horrible. The only thing to say is it's horrible,
It
and
is.
it's not right.
It
People,
is.
I feel like the respect for human life in the United States is really pathetic. It's really atrocious. It's terrible.
Yeah, because the thing is, I always ask myself, why do they even allow people to have guns in their
Yeah,
houses?
I know. We're all asking that question, and
Isn't
it's
there
just
any
not
way that
changing
they
here.
think they can, I mean, do something about it? Something, because if you have a gun, you can do, you feel like you have the power to do things. You
Yeah,
think
I
you have the
mean,
power to do
the
things.
way I look at it, look,
Mm,
I'm a martial artist. I do Muay
okay.
Thai, I do Jiu-Jitsu, I do Kali Eskrima. I study all these martial arts, and one of the things that you learn as you start learning to fight is
Hmm.
that it's really hard to fight. And
Right.
if you go in and try and just fight with someone, you're probably going to get hurt. And through
Right.
this process of learning, you
Yeah.
get that experience brings both confidence, but also
Yeah.
like stability. You never want to fight.
Right.
And I feel like guns take that away. You
It
don't
does.
have this process where you have to like learn what it means to
Yeah.
get punched in the face or punch someone in the face. Like you learn those lessons and then you don't want to do it. With a gun, you just point this thing and it's over. So it's so disrespectful.
It
It
is.
to me, it's just it really devalues
It does.
life and
It does.
people.
It
And
does.
so like the thing that's really difficult here is it's just so entrenched. When our country was founded, a big part of the United States being founded was saying the
Right.
people have to be able to have we have to be able to form a regulated militia
Yeah.
because we said it's necessary for us to be able to defend our beliefs.
Right.
And at that time, it was a really reasonable thing because we were in this crazy situation with a monarch across the ocean trying to tell us what to do and levying taxes, and we didn't have a say in our lives, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Uh, but then you fast forward, and now like they were shooting with muskets and stuff where I could point it at you and it would never hit you because they were so inaccurate. That's not the situation we live in now. But we're using this ancient law
Mm,
as if it's the same thing. So now you
right.
have like gun lobbies, you've got money tied up in it, you've got people's identities tied up in it. You've got states against states, and it's a mess.
Crazy.
It's a complete mess.
It's crazy. I think something has to be done about it because it's a shame. Because I don't know. Honestly,
I mean, the thing that blows my mind, to be completely honest, like you see people getting shot who are young, right?
right? Yeah.
Teenagers and in their 20s and in their 30s, and you hear about these murders and it's horrible. And you hear about this police brutality and it's horrible. But the thing that I can't get past is the school shootings. Like the fact that stuff is happening in schools and people aren't protecting kids blows my mind.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can hear about a school shooting and keep arguing for it. I don't get it.
Yeah. I think recently I saw a similar thing. I don't know where they were, in the church or somewhere, where they killed, kids, and it's so sad.
It's crazy. It's just
it's so sad.
I don't know. I guess people are like too far removed from it to think about people as people anymore. I don't know, man. I was down in Mexico working on the trailer from my movie, right?
Yeah.
I was down in Mexico when the Texas Uvalde school shooting happened.
Right.
And you just read about these like elementary school kids. And I just don't understand how you can look at that and not just make the change. Just immediately be like, something is wrong. We have to stop all of this.
Of course. But I know if the government wants to do something, they will. They can.
So, I mean, they can and they can't. It's like we've written ourselves into a bit of a corner because you have to get like so much support to make things happen. And we're a huge country, right? You have so many people that have so many different opinions. Getting consensus on anything is really difficult. And it's part of like a feature of our government is that it moves slow and tries to stay steady because like we want to make measured decisions each step of the way. Yeah. Ordinarily, that's a really good thing, but like not when kids are getting shot. And so it doesn't line up.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. Because I wish I have some powers to do something about it. I wish there's a way that we can all do something because it's so sad. Like especially little children who they are so innocent to go through this. So much innocence.
I mean, as someone living here, it feels really hopeless.
Yeah.
Like you can go out and say things. There are a ton of people out trying to make change. One of my really good friends, his girlfriend was killed in the Virginia Tech shooting back 15 years ago, something like that. And it was a huge thing for him. So he became a big anti-gun activist. Oh. And he's gone out and put so much time and energy into trying to like show how easy it is to get a gun, how you can get them illegally, how you like it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem to make a difference, So it really feels hopeless being here too.
Yeah, because when you were saying that, what came into my mind is it's so scary for you to go out there because you don't know what's going to happen to you tomorrow. You don't know what's going to happen to you tomorrow. What if you are going somewhere, doing your own thing, and there's a mass shooting? Then what are you going to do? So I think this is what people have to think about. That today it might be someone, tomorrow it might be you. So we need to, talk about this and create this awareness. I think there's something that we can do. There's something that if the masses wake up and there's all this, people talking about it and making all this about this. I'm sure writing petitions and stuff. I'm sure that something can be done. Until we wake up, we will not know what will happen tomorrow, what we can do.
Yeah, there are a lot of people trying to solve it in different ways too, because the political ways don't really seem to go anywhere. But like,
that's it.
For example, I was driving in the car and I heard a radio show the other day about a young guy who started a company that's creating smart guns. And so the idea here is that when you put your finger on the trigger, it analyzes who you are. So it does like a fingerprint scan. It has a little camera on the back that does a facial scan. And those two things have to match up for the gun to actually be able to fire. Yeah. And so is this going to solve the problem? Yeah. No. But it at least helps for these situations where kids take their parents' guns to school and
Yeah.
stuff like that. You know, it can
Yeah.
help.
Yeah.
So people are trying to do what they can, find
Mm-hmm.
ways that work with both the culture and the politics and the problem.
Yeah.
But it's such a brutal issue to have change be slow. It's
It
just it's so painful to have it be a slow thing.
It is. It is. Right. So, guys, if you're watching, this is a Pink Room Show with Princess Raw, and today I've got Tim, Tim Shelburne on the Pink Room Show. He's an actor, he's a director, he's a writer, and a producer as well on the Pink Room Show. We've got him all the way from the US. Right. He's a very big celebrity. Today he's on the Pink Room Show. And I thank you so much for your comments. I'm going to read all your comments, right? So keep them coming, ask your questions, and we'll answer all your questions, right? And also don't forget to share the link. Like I told you, we are live now on Roy Network on YouTube. We're on Aberdeen TV, Lively TV, YKA TV, right? Live now. And also don't forget our distributors are Universe Network based in the US, okay? So we've already discussed about our funny segment. Okay, if you miss it, don't forget you can watch it again because it's a live stream live on Roy Network. So you can watch it again if you go on the YouTube, Roy Network YouTube. And also don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Okay. So we finished with our segments, our first two segments, our funny segment and what is going on segment. Okay. So we're talking about a guy who was shot, you know, accidentally because he was going to do something and he went to the wrong address and he got shot. And there's a lot that we've spoken about. So we all have to create awareness, especially in the US, about guns, right? Because it is doing a lot of damages. It is, you know, destroying innocent lives. So let's all rise up and talk about it. Let us let our voices be heard. Okay, because the more we speak about it, the more we talk about it, the more something can be done about it. Okay, so we're going on our main topic for today. Okay. Our main topic for today is why don't men express their feelings? Okay. When I put this topic, the advert there, the amount of comments and messages I was receiving, people were talking about it. These are the type of, I mean, um, um, topics you have to talk about. And this is very deep, like these topics, because people are going through a lot, emotional things. And we began speaking about the youth committing suicide. And whilst we're talking about the youth committing suicide, I came across that the rate of men committing suicide is higher, about 10.5 higher than women. Women is about 4.1, and the men is 10.5. So when I was talking about it, whilst we were discussing about it, then we went to the point whereby we discovered that sometimes it's true. I mean, men not expressing their emotions. Because there was one article that said that when I was reading it, it said that whilst you are a child as a man, you know, they tell you men don't cry, men don't complain. You know, so if you're going through difficult times, you don't have to show it. You don't have to cry. You don't have to, you know, express your emotions. And I've got people who have also sent their messages telling me the reason why men don't want to express their emotions. So, Tim, as a man, first I want you to talk about how do you express or process things? How do you process things as a man? If in case you're going through challenges and how as a man, how do you process your challenges that you go through?
Well, so I mean it's a heavy question.
It is.
Um, I think so. Can I ask a couple questions first, just so I
Okay.
understand
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
where we're sitting?
Yeah.
Uh, are we talking about like how global is this? Are we talking about how, because it matters culturally, right?
Yeah.
In the United States, we have one set of like incentives and expectations and the way it is, and that's really the only place I can come from. And
Right.
even then, like I'm a guy that grew up in Kentucky, which is a really small, very conservative state.
Okay.
And now I live in New York, which is a
It's a big.
really big urban center, tends to be very progressive. So like I have a very specific experience
Okay.
in terms of, and I want to just make sure it's clear.
Yeah.
I understand the context you're asking, and to say like I can't speak for most people.
Most people, right? Yeah, true, true.
So are we talking about like just my experience, that little
Yeah, yeah,
bit?
yeah. What we want to do is that because you are now representing, you are sitting in now for the men,
Mm,
right? So we want to see how you process, because maybe everyone is different. Obviously, everyone is different.
yeah.
Everyone has the way to process their own things, but the way you process things might be similar to someone else who is in the same, there might be maybe 5% or 2% of people the same way that we process things. So we want to know, how do you process things? Because as a woman,
Okay.
right, if I'm going through things or maybe I'm going through challenges, I would like to talk about it. I will talk
Mm,
about it, right? I will find a friend, I'll talk about it. If it's my mom, if my a friend, I'll talk about it. And that helps me to come out, or release some of the pressure or the stress, right? So we want
mm,
to know, how do men process certain things? Because if I'm dating a man and I don't know how he handle challenges or you know things, or emotional things, how would I understand him? What will make me, what will be the red flag, or what will make me be aware that, okay, this guy is going through an
yeah.
emotional trauma or something?
So I think it's also more than just how do I process it. The question is also who am I processing it with,
Thank
right?
you.
Because you kind of implied it there that we're
Mhm.
talking about in a relationship.
Right.
And in a relationship, it's not just like who is that person, but it's also how long have I been with them? Like to
True.
what degree can I reasonably expect?
True.
Like what can I expect as a man? Because like we all we all work on incentives, right? We're incentivized somehow
Mm.
to do certain things.
Right.
And as a kid, I definitely grew up in one of those places where it's like, uh, you don't cry, you stay tough,
Yes, it.
you don't express certain things, you deal with it.
That's it.
And the men who did express, the boys, they were
Mm.
children, the
Thank
boys who did express
you.
certain things were often called names, right?
Okay.
And so that's really clear. That's like, okay, as a kid, you grew up thinking this, but we all eventually get to adulthood
That's it.
and you surround yourself by the people you choose. So
That's it.
presumably, I'm not going to get called names
Hmm.
by the people that I surround myself with
That's it.
uh, for expressing emotions.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm.
But I do still get consequences. I'm still
Right.
incentivized to act and say certain things. And a good example, let's say I'm in an office.
Hmm.
Uh, Men are incentivized to go in, make decisions, not really question things, and
Mm.
not be like the more strong decision making thing we can present, the better it is. And we're
Yeah.
considered like, as a leader, let's promote him. And if you
Yeah.
start expressing doubts or
Hmm.
questions or being like, I'm kind of upset about this situation, people are like, he's just a problem. And it's
That's the
the
thing.
opposite for women. So if women
Right.
go in here in the United States, if women go in and start saying, here's what we're going to do, and here's how we want to do it, and they
Mhm.
present it strong, people are like, she's a bitch, and
Hey.
we're not gonna promote her. We need to knock her down. And it's
Right.
the same thing. So we're like incentivizing
So
these
what exactly do they expect? Because if a woman comes out with this strongness and power, you are a bitch. But then if a man is saying that, oh, being a bit questionable, then there's a problem. So how do they want them to want men to even go through all this? Is because it's quite challenging. It's a very difficult situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cultural thing, right? We've established this set of expectations for
Right.
what it means for a man to be effective in society and a woman to be effective in society.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
now we're like, it's not some one person coming in and saying, this is what you will do.
Yeah.
It's this like whole structure is telling us this is the way we have to participate in society together.
Yeah.
And so to me, like the way I work through things personally,
Yeah.
most of the problems that I have, I try and make decisions quickly and do it on my own. I
Right.
grew up very like I have to take care of these things, so I'm going to do it. I
Yeah.
tend to do that. If I have a big problem or I'm getting really frustrated, I tend to take it out in the boxing ring. I go
Right.
and I punch the bag until I feel better, or I spar
Right.
with some friends.
And
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 that's
it
like
works for
one
you.
way.
It works for you.
And Yeah, and it helps
You
me,
go
like, I
further.
can those buddies, like the guys that I can go and spar with and have like a hard session with,
Yeah.
we can talk about stuff afterwards, and there's like you're working through something there. Now, if
Yeah.
you're talking with a partner, a romantic partner,
Yeah.
you know, if I've been with someone for 6 months,
Mm.
I'm probably not going to share a lot with them because like
Okay.
I don't even really know who they are,
Of
and they don't
course.
really know who I am. Like
Yeah.
there's an extent to which I'm going to share with you, but there's also an extent to which it's like I've been a lot. I'm 36 years old,
Okay.
so I've been working on this for 36 years. You've
Yeah.
been here for 6 months.
Yeah.
How
Trans,
valuable is your opinion to me,
of
really?
course. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like as we earn that respect between each other,
Mhm.
it's like, yeah, I'm going to share more with you.
With you. Yeah.
But
Sure.
I think I think the bigger issue, rather than like specifically who you're talking to, I think the
Yeah.
bigger issue is just what do we need to do to get to the point where
Yeah.
we can, instead of saying like men need to share these sensitive emotions
Yeah.
uh and that's like the topic. To me, it's how can we just let people
Yeah.
express themselves
Selves. Yeah.
however they want to express themselves, and we just
Yeah.
let that be okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. But then we wanted to know because you know I have met people, you know. Let me take it to say what do you call it, in relationship aspect, right? um Someone told me that um when she married, the husband will come and drunk, you know, drunk, he would drink himself, you know, off and all that, which is having an impact
Yeah.
on his life, right? And then she was saying that she wouldn't know what the problem is. Okay, this is a man that he's married, you know, for say, I can say 5 6 years, right? That he knows, they know each other. But then
Yeah.
when there's a problem, before she find out, this man will come drunk, And so she was asking, why is it that? Why is he not expressing his emotions? Why is he not expressing his emotions? Because if you could have share your emotions with me or express what you're going through or your feelings with me, I could have helped you. So that's the why we find the question. And I remember one time I was there was this incident that happened, which I saw the video on Instagram, right? That I think he was a boxer. He was a boxer that lost a best friend, and that best friend committed suicide.
Mm.
Okay, so his advice was saying that if only he knew, if only that friend communicated or said something or expressed himself, he would have got the help. He could have
Yeah.
got help. Yeah. You know, and on the show too, we had a man who came also to share his life story about he went through an abuse. Okay. So these things like this, if we don't know what you're going through, then how can we help? How can somebody come and help? I know sometimes it's difficult, but why is it that why is men not expressing their emotions? Which you've mentioned a few, saying that, you know, when you're growing up and maybe you express your emotion and you tell people that, oh, I can't do this, even at workplace, they see you as, you know, maybe a weak person or whatever it is. And culture as you said, some cultures, if you're a boy, right from where you're growing up, if you're a boy and you express your emotions, they call you a woman, right? Or a
Yeah.
girl, you know.
Yeah.
So right from a childhood, you have to be tough.
Mm.
You have to be
Yeah.
tough.
So I think men do express emotions. I think they express a certain set of emotions for certain sets of people and certain circumstances, like
Yeah,
different situations, right?
yeah, yeah,
Um, and I think so. If you're coming from the perspective of a concerned friend or a
right,
concerned partner or someone who's like, something is wrong and they're not expressing it to me,
yeah.
um, the only thing you can do, you can't go to someone and be like, why won't you just tell me? Right? Because there is a reason they're not telling
They
you.
must tell you.
It might be something from their past, or it might be something that you're doing. You
Yeah,
know, it might be the way you react when they try and reach out. It
right.
might be that you're not really hearing their messages
Okay,
when they're
that you
trying to
you
talk to
made a
you.
very vital point there. the way you react when they talk to you.
Yeah.
So that also we need
Yeah.
to put it down. The way we react. So people that are talking, I mean, sending messages about your partners and all that, you need to question yourself. You need to ask yourself, how do you react when your partner talks to you or your friend tells you their problems? How do you react? So that's very
Yeah.
important. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Do you dismiss them? Do
Right.
you get upset? Do you get
Right.
defensive? Do you
Mm.
tend to think that, do you make it about yourself rather than about them? That's something that, like, for me has been a very difficult thing to learn. And that's been like my bigger thing to work on, is
Yeah.
when someone comes to me,
Mhm.
try not to get defensive. Like, turn off that thing in your brain that makes you think it's about you. Because we all tend to think, like, we center ourselves in our stories, right?
Mhm.
But it isn't always about us. And if they're
Yeah.
having a problem, just let them be the one with the problem and
Yeah.
talk to them about it and
Mm.
react in a way that makes them say, hey, it's okay for me to bring problems up with this
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. Right. Right. Wow. So guys, if you watch it, this is the Pink Room Show with Princess Roy, and I've got my special guest, Tim Shelburne, on the Pink Room Show today. So we are live now on Roy Network, on YouTube, also Aberdeen TV, YKA TV, and don't forget our distributors, our Universe Network USA. Okay, so we're discussing about why don't men share their emotions. Okay, so Tim has spoken a lot about it, and I've got few people also telling us the reason why they don't share their emotions. So if I spoke, I mean, bring this out, and then we'll discuss about it, and you will tell me, is that the right reason? Should it be a reason why the person wouldn't express their emotions? Because, like I said, through emotion, if something is in you and is boiling in you, or worry or stress, and you don't release it, it builds up. It affects your emotions, and then it can affect it can cause depression. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I work as a health professional, right? And I work with people. I've met people going through so many things. A typical example is a man that I met who drank himself, drinking because he felt like he was going through so much, and he
Mm-hmm.
couldn't he didn't want to express himself, so he turned to a drunkard, right? And then out to drinking and drinking and drinking, he end up losing his leg. Losing his leg, it affected him, because why? You did not talk about it, you did not express yourself, you not seek for the help. You can seek for counseling, you can seek for help from everywhere, which women do, but he didn't do it. And then he drank himself up, and then now he's dead and gone. I was taking care of him in the higher dependency unit. Okay.
Mm.
So these are the things that we need to worry about, and ask yourself, is it the right thing? We should. Why that? Why can't you just tell people? Or, like you said, you need to find the right people, but then there's help out there. Confidentiality is very important, you know. So sharing, like you said, sharing your emotions, or sharing your problems with people, you need to be sure that there's a confidentiality that will protect your whatever you're discussing, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think with that specific example,
Mm.
the thing that needs to be thought about is, like, people in general
Right.
are pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
They look at the circumstances in their life, and they see the options ahead of them, and they pick the one that they honestly believe is best for them.
Right.
Nobody is going around saying, I'm going to screw my life up,
Of
you know?
course. Yeah.
So the thing that I think we need to recognize in that story is that guy honestly felt like his best option for dealing with these things
The drink.
was coping through drinking.
Yeah.
So that means that he literally didn't believe that
Mm.
he had the opportunity to share. And no amount of going out and saying,
Mm.
you need to talk, you need to talk, you need to talk is going to convince him of that,
Yeah.
because something, or more likely many things in his life,
Mm.
has already said, yeah, I know what happens when I try and share.
Yeah.
I know what that is. I've heard this story before.
Yeah.
Nice try, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So, like, he was taking what he could do
Yeah.
to get through the situation he was
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's that's the reality. So when it's like we have to, you have to look at what the real incentives are and
Yeah.
what really happens when men do share.
Yeah.
I know
True.
the people who I can share with who
Mhm.
aren't going to like make it a problem for me.
That's
And
it.
then I know the people who will make it a problem.
That's it.
And I'm not going to talk to the people who make it a problem.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, I was thinking, like you said, it could be also that right from when he was growing up, he didn't feel like he was being heard.
Mm,
He didn't feel like he was being heard.
yeah.
Some parents, like when kids are growing up and they are trying to share their emotions to us or tell us something, it's like we're not ready to listen. So he will feel like, what's the point anyway? What's the point?
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? What's
Yeah.
the point? Why am I even sharing it? Because nothing is going to be done about it, you know. And so that's what we are trying to create awareness on the Pink Room Show, that you need to try different places. If this place doesn't work for you, try other options. That's why they have professionals who properly go to school, be trained as counselors, so they can counsel you. There's
Mm,
therapies that you can go for therapies. There's so many ways, so that's why we are doing this show. So whilst we asking the question why men don't express their emotions, then we're also educating you that there's help somewhere, there's help out there. You can have a lot of friends. If your mom doesn't listen, you find someone else. Maybe your dad will listen to you. If your dad doesn't listen, maybe there's a friend who will listen to you. If a friend, you can find someone that you can trust to share your problems. What we don't want, and the reason why we're talking on the Pink Room Show, discussing about this topic, is that we don't want our men to go through all this emotional trauma to the point whereby they are committing suicide and killing themselves.
yeah.
So that's what we're saying now. So we'll come to the things that we can do to help, or things that we can do to help people to talk. Okay. So there's some things that someone said that he said someone no he said someone said, as a man. Okay, so when he was growing up, said someone told him that as a man, if you are emotional, every time you are emotional about things, then you are classified as a woman.
Mm,
Right. You're classified as a woman.
yeah. I think so. I don't know what it's like in other countries
Yeah.
culturally,
Mm.
but in the States, it feels like we're in the middle of the fight to make that not a thing anymore.
Good.
Uh,
Good.
because it's been like I grew up in a time when that's definitely true. Like
Yeah.
I can distinctly remember looking around and
Mm.
seeing boys that were like my friends getting heavily made fun of for different
Right.
stuff like that. For
Right.
like if they do theater, getting called gay and that being a bad thing.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know, like this would happen. And I remember having the thought, I didn't start getting into theater until much later. So I was like, well, I don't want to get made fun of.
Okay.
And I think that's getting better. It's a
Yeah.
big fight.
Yeah.
And you have all these different people wanting to argue in different ways. But I do think young people in the States right now
Mm.
are like making that less of a thing, letting
That's
themselves just be who they are. And it's cool.
good.
But
Yeah.
it hasn't filtered all the way up to like
Yeah.
old people
That's
yet.
right.
And
Yeah.
old people are still in charge. So
Yeah. 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 That's a very good one. Yeah. It's true. It's true. So what we want to tell people is that, everyone has their own, emotional, whatever they go through. Everyone, we are human. I don't know how people do understand the creation of God. I don't know if you understand the creation of God. That I don't know where we got that from. That man should be this and a woman should be this. I know we're different, right? Different is different the way God created human beings. But then, when it comes to emotions, you need to, like you said, it doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you a woman. Because God knows that you go through things, you go through all these emotional pains and all that, and He needs you to share it because it's causing so much damages. Like we already spoke on the Pink Room Show. So people that make men feel like when you share your emotion, you're a woman, that is not right.
hmm.
That is not right. So this is some of the reasons, because we're talking about the reason why men don't share their emotions, and this is one of the reasons. So we need to stop, classifying men who shares their emotions as women. everybody has feelings. Okay, you have the days that you feel, you feel down, the days that you're going through challenges. It could be financial challenges, it could be anything, so let's allow people to express their feelings. Okay, everyone, we are all human. All right, so other person was saying that as a man, if you are emotional, there is some group of people that you cannot associate yourself with. I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about. Like there are some groups, right, that they see themselves as men. They are tough. So if
Oh,
you are an emotional person, you can't fit in.
so I mean, I would kind of question that on its face. It's like
That's it.
if you being yourself means that you don't fit in with this group, then like why are
Yeah.
you interested in fitting in with this group
Thank
in the
you.
first place?
Thank you. Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Yeah.
That to me it can feel pretty hopeless. Like I can
Yeah.
understand. Like I
Yeah.
want to be able to be with these people, but
Yeah.
ultimately I think it's an important step to just say like it's more important to be, whatever is you are,
Yeah.
and let's just go with that.
Fits. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
that this,
forget those people.
of course, these are some of the things that the youth, if when you mature to a certain level in your life, all these things doesn't bother you anymore. You don't care about where to fit
Yeah.
in and where you don't fit in. But when it comes to the youth,
Yeah.
because of all these influences, right, they want to do everything to fit in certain groups, and that's where the problem comes from.
Yeah.
Because they want to do everything. So even when they say that the gangs, how can you be emotional person being in the gang? You can't. You need to be tough. You know what I mean? You can't be in the gang and be too much
I,
emotional.
I don't know. I mean personally, I think
Yeah.
I think people in gangs are some of the most emotional people.
Oh,
You know,
really?
well, they're just expressing different emotions. They're
Okay.
like the
Okay.
only emotion isn't sensitivity. There's also like anger and frustration and sadness and happiness and joy. There's like all these things. I think gang members are extremely emotional. I think
Wow.
one of my favorite things that I heard. Okay, this we can lighten it just a little bit here.
That's
Um,
yeah.
I don't know how where you are, how popular metal music is, but metal and like loud music with yelling and everything,
Yeah. Yeah.
fans of metal music also tend to really like huge, like bombastic opera and classical music. And it's
Right.
because it's not about being angry, it's about it being like big and expressive and everything. So these people that you assume are just angry, they really just like drama.
Right.
They're just like dramatic people.
Mm,
And
mm,
I don't know, like everything is emotions. All of those are emotions. It's just which ones are you expressing and to
right.
who? Gang
Do you
members are allowed to express a certain set of emotions to a certain group of people. And, if when they're with their girlfriends, they
mm,
express the same emotion in the same way, it's probably not going to go very well.
true. So you pulling my mind on this, that people, even you know when people are being angry, right, is another form of, I mean, showing their emotions, isn't it? Like, you
Yeah.
try to be tough and be angry towards people, and all these gangs. Honestly, I'm
I,
really, like, honestly.
I mean, yeah, that's like oftentimes like
Wow.
in the States, people who have uh, the people who try and gatekeep
Mm,
and lock out people for being girly or whatever, right?
yeah.
They're very emotional people who are not in control of
Wow.
themselves. Like they can't handle how they feel because they feel disgusted or frustrated or disappointed or something in this other person, and they can't deal with it themselves.
Right.
And so they're like, but I just see that as someone who, is way too emotional and can't like get it together.
Mm, mm. Wow. Wow. So people just wake up. So that's when say, for instance, when we were beginning, we spoke about gun, crimes and all that. So people, how to express the idea. It's true, because now I'm looking at a different picture altogether, right? Why would someone just wake up one day and say, I'm going to shoot someone, I'm going to kill someone? So that's the way for them to express their emotion. But I think that is when the situation has become too much for them to handle, that they can't handle. So they have to now, act, in that way. But we're trying to let people know that you shouldn't wait till it gets to that point.
So I'm a huge proponent of exercise and activity, and
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's more important for men than women, because everyone, lifestyle is important, but I do think testosterone tends towards aggression,
Okay.
and I think men can fall into aggression,
Right.
physical aggression, a lot more easily, and you
Right.
just have to blow that steam off. It's Aggression isn't a bad thing. It's just
Mm.
one more like chemical thing that we as people have to deal with, but
Yeah.
it's our responsibility to deal with it.
Yeah.
And so I always say, like, go learn how to box,
Yeah.
go biking, go do something, play a sport
Good.
that gets this like out of there
That's
instead
it.
of bottling it up. And I think that's expressing emotion.
Emotion.
I completely consider
Yeah.
those things a way of expressing it
That's the
so that
emotion.
you
It's
can deal
true.
with it.
It's true. It's true. It's true. So you find something that you feel like whenever you're going through an emotional trauma or anything, you find something to do to get yourself occupied, get your mind off those kind of stuff. When I'm so down, what I have to do is I'll just go into my bed, just go inside
Hmm.
my bed, and then put on my movies and watch. You know, put on my movies and watch. That's what I do. Or find
Hmm.
something I can do. If it's music, I love music. I'm a musician as well. I sing, listen to songs, listen to something. Yeah, don't wait till we don't want you to wait till it becomes too much. That's the thing. Because a friend was sharing with me, he said that his friend was going through a lot, right? I think the wife was sick or something, and he was going through too much. He couldn't share because he thought that if when he cries or when he tell people, they'll feel like, oh, you're a man, keep it in. And he knew that the friend was really going through a lot, but that he couldn't share until that he decided to open up to this friend, and share. And the friend told him, You have the right. You can cry. You need to cry if you have to cry, because crying to me is one of the good things that can help you to release. I mean, your stress or emotions.
Hmm.
Tears, when tears come out from your eyes, sometimes it's amazing the way nature and human beings are created. But then crying, there's a reason why there's crying. And that's what people are trying to hold it in. It's like a tsunami, something building up inside you, boiling so hard, and you try to
Hmm.
keep it in. What is going to happen? You're going to explode.
Hmm.
And that's why you get to the level whereby either committing suicide or killing people or joining gangs or all these things, or drinking alcohol, things that will destroy your life and destroy your whole body and also end your life. So, guys, I know we there's a culture or whatever we believe in, that men don't cry, men don't talk about their problems, men, when you're going through financial difficulties and whatever, come on. If you want to cry, cry.
Okay. Check this out. So I'm not really a crier. I have friends who are criers, men, women, whatever.
Have you
People who
ever
are like,
cried
I
before?
just go sit in the
Talk about before,
bathtub,
like,
I have a nice cry, and then I feel great. And it's like, okay,
right.
that
Have you
doesn't
ever
work for
cried
me.
before, Tim?
Say what?
Have you ever cried before because of maybe going
Oh,
through a
I
difficult
mean,
time?
of course, yeah.
Good.
But it's like, for me, it's not a. I wouldn't call it a coping strategy. It's not like something that comes up and that's how I get through things. If it
Yeah,
happens, it happens.
it happens. Yeah. Okay.
But for me, that's what I was saying. Like, when things get big and I'm feeling tense,
Yeah.
I go and I hit a punching bag. So,
Right.
like, maybe as just a suggestion for
Hmm.
someone who has a friend and is like worried about them,
Yeah.
think about some different things. Like,
Yeah.
don't suggest cry to me about it, but like, what if you say, let's go take a run in the
Yeah.
park?
Yeah.
Or let's, like, what do you like to do? How do you blow off steam? Do you like, I have friends that I go and I just box with.
Right.
And like, usually by the end of a boxing round, I
I
feel
hope
better. I
you
feel
don't someone down one day.
no, see, that's the whole point though, is like I can hit, they can hit, we're working through
Right.
this together, you know?
You don't hit
But
your
like,
face. You don't hit your face.
well, I got long arms though. I've got a long guard.
Because I'm
So
asking because if I want to try that and I don't know how to do it, I'll end up, coming up with punches in my face, and then where do I stand?
I'm just
Yeah,
saying, okay,
yeah,
there's a woman at my boxing gym, my
right,
Muay Thai gym.
yeah,
She had a really scary thing happen where this guy tried to follow her into her apartment and he like pushed her up against a wall. Fortunately, nothing happened, but she was so scared, right?
yeah,
This was a horrifying experience for her.
yes, yeah,
And she looked at it and decided to go and start learning to do kickboxing.
yeah,
And so now that's like one of her things is to, and I spar with her and it's great.
yeah,
You
of
know,
course,
she's good, she's fast.
yeah,
And that's one of the ways she worked through it. And now she like feels stronger as a result.
yeah,
I don't,
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
really put a value judgment on it. I just think
mm,
that's an option that
yeah,
people can use. And so
true,
like, if you're looking at your husband or boyfriend or best friend or brother or anything like that,
yeah,
maybe they just need to hit something, you know? So like get a boxing bag
boxing,
or like put on some gloves and like hold pads, be like, ah, don't hurt me, just and then I'll tell you,
right, yeah,
after a sparring session, I'm
yeah,
usually much more in the mood to talk.
in the mood to talk, right,
Before I'm like, I all I'm gonna do is just start like saying stupid shit. But after
yeah,
I've like knocked it out, now I'm tired.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
I'll be honest, I'm just having a hard time because my mom is sick or
mm,
something. And
yeah,
then I'm like, I'm in a place to talk, and the person that I just like fought
mm,
with is
yeah,
like, that sucks, bro. And we can just talk through it and it's okay.
true,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
consider different things. There are a lot of avenues.
There is. But that's different from you punching someone because people when they go through emotional trauma and stuff, they will end up, using a human being as a punching bag. Please, that's not what
That's not what I'm saying. Don't just like
we're
go
talking about.
find the guy.
Yes, just
I'm
find
talking
some
about
a
a
dummy or
class.
something that you can punch. Or
Yeah.
better still, you can punch, you can hit the wall with your hand. If you break your hand, that's your own your own problem, Instead of you punching a human beings and killing people and all that, because all this, like I
I
said,
would like to clarify, I'm not suggesting you go out and just start attacking random people.
no, it's okay. It makes sense. What you said really makes sense, to be honest. It makes
But
sense.
like, okay,
It makes
here's an
sense.
idea.
Mm,
Someone has turned to alcohol as a coping
yeah,
strategy, right?
right. Yeah.
You're not going to be able to go to them and say you
Mm,
shouldn't drink.
yeah, of
They're
course.
going to be like, okay,
Yeah,
this is how I deal.
of
But
course.
like, what if you made it nice
Yeah.
where at home
Yeah.
you had a drink with them
Okay. Yeah.
and then said, do you feel like talking after
Right.
a drink or
Yeah.
two?
Yeah.
Don't get slammed and,
Mhm.
and then try and have an emotional conversation.
Yeah.
But
It's true.
have a drink with them because
Mm,
that's how they're dealing with it. Meet them
yeah.
where they are. Don't
Yeah.
judge them.
It's true.
And so, like
Good.
a
Yeah.
lot of really good conversations for me come
Yeah.
from opening a bottle of wine and
Right.
sitting down with someone, you
Yeah.
know? And
Yeah.
then maybe you can turn that into conversations where you don't necessarily need alcohol. Suddenly we start drinking over coffee.
That's it.
And then we're just talking and it's normal, like
It's true.
where is this person in their journey?
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, it's very true. I mean, the things that you said, for instance, I per se, right? Sometimes when I'm going through things and I go to the gym, right, and I'm working out, it helps me also to release my, pressure. The moment I come home and I settle, I feel release. I feel like something has, come off. And also, like you said,
Mm,
talking to people, like we mentioned before, right? The way you handle the situation. If I go to maybe work, right? I used to
mm,
have this friend, and that when I got to work, my work was very, challenging. When I was working in theater, right, in doing surgeries, operations on people, right. Sometimes the trauma you seeing people, being cut and all that, the trauma, For instance, I saw a man had his leg cut off, and you come home and you feel, yeah, That's why we're trying to advocate. We're trying to talk about this, that don't let it get to that point, because this can cause so much trauma. It can end your life, because I've met people who have died out of all this, that it started from somewhere and then it progressed and it wasn't handled well, and then that was it. So when I come home from work, and maybe I go through a challenging time, and I want to speak to someone, I'm trying to express myself to the person. He will start asking questions. Are you sure you did not do it? Like I'm being interrogated. And so because of that, I feel like, what, I'm not even going to talk about it with you anymore. So what
Yeah.
happens? I keep it in.
Yep.
I keep it in because I can't speak to you about it. I can't open up about it. So whilst we're talking about it, people that in relationship, in friendship, and all that, we have to learn. Like Tim is saying, be open, be ready to listen, and also find a strategy whereby you can find a way to talk to people, or find a way that you can make the person talk, not to force the person, not to judge, and also be a listener. Right? I am someone
Yeah.
who listens a lot, because my work that I do teaches me how to listen. So I love to listen. And I've met people, patients who are sick, and I can see right away that it's not sickness. It's nothing like sickness. It's something emotional. All they need is to speak to someone and they'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they need, to speak. So when I have the time, instead of me I will sit with them and communicate with them. Communicate with them and ask them. And you hear them. Some of them, they are old ladies who they can even tell you about their story in the past, what they went through, the wars and all that, a lot. And to me, I'm even happy because I get to hear about somebody's life, their life journey, which is very important. So let us be listeners. You're asking why men are not sharing their emotions, and women are complaining and be sad and you worry about it. My husband is this and that and that. My partner doesn't talk and communicate. How do do you judge them when you're talking to you? Do you judge them? How do you listen to them? Do you pay attention to what they're saying? So these are the reasons. And Tim has said a lot about it, that these are the reasons that people or men don't express their emotions. They don't want to talk about it. So the last thing. Oh, do you want to say something? Do you want to add something to it, Tim?
I think there's one thing to add to your list.
Okay.
Do you listen? Are you not judging? Are you coming and trying to talk to them about it? I think it's also important that you believe them
Right.
when people say things, because a lot
Very
of times people will say things that are outside of
true.
our own experience. And as a consequence, we tend to not believe what they say. It's like, oh, okay, you're making a bigger deal out of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you come to it with the perspective that, no, this is their experience, what they're
That's it.
telling me is true,
Mhm.
and I'm just going to start from that place,
Yeah.
people will be a lot more willing to talk to you.
We talked. It's true. It's true. Yeah. Okay. So the last one that someone sent to me says that expressing my emotions make me feel weak. Expressing my emotions makes me feel weak. Is that a good reason to not express your emotion, because you feel like when you express your emotions you're a weak man.
I mean, so to me, like, I think emotions serve a purpose for
Mm,
people. I think emotions, I don't think the point is if you have an emotion, you're supposed to just like blow it out everywhere
yeah.
over everyone around you, right?
Hmm.
It's at least a two-step process in my mind. The first one is you feel it. And before you start just like raging about whatever it is you're feeling, you have to process it. You have
Right.
to have the time to consider it and
Mm,
think about whether this is something that should be shared, whether this is just like your emotions giving you a hint. Maybe I shouldn't do this thing. Maybe I should think about something differently. Because emotions, it's not like you have to talk about every single thing you feel.
right.
Um, but I think it's important to say that you have to be able to look at it and honestly make that decision.
Decisions.
If
Yeah.
every time you feel an emotion, you just say, this makes me weak and I'm turning it off,
Right.
that doesn't give you the opportunity to actually use the emotion for its purpose, which is to, you know,
Right.
allow you as a person to figure out how to interact in some situation.
Yeah.
And so,
Mm.
like, treating it not as women are emotional, but instead saying people are emotional
Emotional.
and
Yeah.
we can express them
Mm.
anytime in any way we want,
Yeah.
and find the people and situations that can be helpful for you in
Yeah.
which you can express them.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
there are like, but just to clarify, there are
Mhm.
definitely people who you don't want to express your emotions
Of
to at
course.
all.
Of course.
And
Yeah.
like, there are people who will tell you that you're
Mhm.
weak. And so you get this confirmation bias because you
Exactly.
expressed it to the wrong person.
That's
But it's
it.
just important to say, like, when someone treats you that way,
Mhm.
fuck them. Those are no longer good people to be around.
Right.
Like, move on and
Mhm.
find the people who don't make you feel weak for
That's
having expressed it.
that's it. So I think your environment and the people that you live your life with or mingle with is very important. Your association is very important. You need to have people that you can trust.
Yeah.
People that you can trust. So yeah, it's this is very deep, right? And I've had a lot of comments here, right? Someone also say that this is coming from this man is saying that this is the wife, his own wife, who said that to him. Anytime there's a situation that he want to express it, or tell the wife about it, or like, she feels that he's behaving like a woman. You a man, deal with it. You a man, deal
Yeah.
with it. That's the thing. That's what he said. He said that my wife always makes me feel like, anytime I try to express myself, she calls me a woman. You are the head of the house, you are the man, so deal with it.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that relationship probably has a lot of things to dig in and look at and consider, because those kind of roles, like,
Yeah,
when you put in strict roles like that, it tends to erase the individuals,
that's it.
um, which is a bummer,
Mm,
because anything, anytime you're not really able to be your true self, it
yeah,
just makes everything worse.
that's it.
Um, but yeah, I don't think it's uncommon. Like,
Mm,
I I've had loads of experiences where I go out and try and, express something, and it's
mm,
like, whoa, dude, you're getting a little sensitive here, or you're
right.
supposed to be the man, just handle it. And it's like,
Wow.
got
Mm,
it.
mm,
But that's hard when
yeah,
the person who's doing it to you is your partner,
partner.
especially if it's a wife, a long-term partner, someone that you've like tied yourself to.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard.
It's hard. It's
But
true.
like, to me, there are two things there. You
Mm,
you have to decide how important it is to you,
that's it.
whether, like, to be able to express yourself to that person. If
Yeah,
it's important,
yeah.
they either need to show that they're going to fix it and you work through it,
Mm,
or you kind of have to move on. You only get to live one time.
true.
But you can also just decide, well,
Mm,
that's not my person to talk to about these things, and go
yeah.
to a friend, go to your
That's it.
parents,
Yeah.
join a
Yeah.
club, find someone else you can talk to, and just
Mm,
don't bring it back to her, because
yeah.
she's showing you that that's not her role in your life. And
Yeah.
that's okay. If that's what you want, that's totally fine.
Yeah. Mm. All right. Let me see. I think a message here. Somebody's saying that. Okay. All right. She's saying that from WhatsApp. She said, no, the man is a man. He's saying that he's saying that he tries to share his problems with the wife, but he wouldn't, he's in a relationship with a woman. He tries to share his emotions with a woman. He doesn't want she doesn't want to listen. Right.
Hmm.
She doesn't listen. And when she tries to talk to friends, it becomes a problem.
Talks to friends about what?
About what he's going through. Maybe, say for instance, maybe he's going through challenges, like going through an emotional challenges, or maybe financial challenges and all that, and he tries to speak to the wife or the partner. She doesn't want to listen.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to help. But then if he go out there to speak to someone, a friend or a family member or a father or a mother, it's a problem. She complains.
Oh, yeah. So that might just be a person you. I mean, it doesn't sound like a healthy relationship.
No, not
You
at
know,
all.
like
Not at
I
all.
like that to me is if you want to try and make it work, you've got
Mm,
to talk and figure it out between the two of you. If you
exactly.
can't figure it out, you either need to like get counseling together
Yeah,
or break it off and find something that's healthy for you.
true.
Because like, there's no way she's going to be happy if that's what he needs. There's no
Mm,
way he's going to be happy if that's what
mhm.
she needs. Like, it doesn't sound viable.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I mentioned before that I'm someone who I do love to listen. That's me. I went into a relationship and I knew this person that a partner that I was in a relationship with. He was going through so many things in his past. So whenever he tries to tell me something, I can keep quiet. I can be quiet on the phone for an hour, right? Not talking, not saying anything. Just
Hmm.
just listen to him. I will listen and listen and listen and then try to encourage him, right? But then I realized that what I realized is that when it comes to my turn and I'm going through something, I want to talk to him. He doesn't want to listen.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to listen. He wants to find a way to dissolve the situation or to stop me from talking and stuff. And it went on for long. But anytime he wants to talk, I would just give him all my time. Hours, just listen to him, hours upon hours, just lie down and listen because I knew that that was a therapy for him and it
Mm.
was helping him release all his pains and emotions and everything. But when it comes to my turn, he doesn't listen to me. So I said to myself, why? Where are we going? Where do I stand? Where do I
Isn't
stand?
isn't that like the textbook definition of codependency? Is it not?
Of course. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. That's generally referred to as like not a good thing, right?
Exactly.
That's not just me. Okay.
Yeah. So I thought to myself, you know what? It's better I come, forget about this because it's not going to work for me because I want someone to hear me, And we talk about this about how women communicate and it's some of the values of a woman on the Pink Room show. And someone was saying that she being heard, in a relationship by her partner, makes her feel valued.
Mm.
So communication is very important.
Mm.
So, but if it becomes one way, then it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a woman or you are dating a man or you are in a marriage with a man that you don't want to listen to him, but you want him to listen to, that's a problem. Like Tim was saying, there's something has to be done. This is why some men cannot express their emotions because one, they are being called names. The stigma of a man not crying, a man not sharing their emotions. These are the reason why men doesn't share their emotions because men have ego. Most men have ego because so if in case they come and share the problem with you and today you don't listen to them or you make them feel like, oh, you're a woman, the next time they will not come to you again. That's how the level of the ego that men have. Too much ego, which I have a problem with it, but we'll talk about it later. I don't know if you disagree
I was
with
gonna
me,
say,
but
I don't think this is a man problem. I think this is a people problem.
a people problem, right? A people problem. So that's what Tim is saying. It's not only men, so both women. So we need to deal with it. Okay. So if you just join, we're gonna go off soon because time we is more than 1 hour now. Tim has got today. You have a shooting as well. You're shooting in is it
Yep.
LA, right? But
Yep.
he's
I'm in
giving
LA.
his time, right? He's giving his time to come on the Pink Room show, and this shows how the Pink Room show is, top shows, right? So yeah, and the thing is, most when people come on the show. Right, most of them will tell me, "Oh, how many hours do we have?" I said, maybe maximum 1 hour. It depends. And oh yeah, it's too long. And then when they come on the show, they enjoy their show to the point whereby they even forget themselves. And I can tell them that we have to go off because you have. Oh, it's okay. I have about 5 minutes more. And I was like, thank God because it shows how interesting the topic we talk about and also how good the show is. So I'm very privileged. It's a great honor for you to give your time to come on the Pink Room show. Thank you so much. I'm going to say thank you again.
Honor
Thank
is
you
all
so
mine.
much. Yeah. So
Thank
let's
you.
go through some of them, the messages that we have, and then we will run up the show. All right. So, right. I've got someone saying, Helen Francis is my church mother. Hello. She said hello. And then she said, it has been, oh, okay, it has become a culture. All right. So we talk about culture, isn't it? How the society see you as a man if you express your emotions. So, like you said, some cultures, that's how it is.
Mm.
But thank God that it's changing in America now. Right. So now the awareness is there. So it's changing. The youth now and the new generation are learning that you don't have to, keep your emotions in you. There's a way that you can get it out. You can seek help somewhere. So that's a good step. And I'm hoping that other people that are watching from the whole world, right, or will also learn from it. That we will not let the culture, stop us from expressing ourselves, but then, go out there. Any way you can bring out the emotion, do it for your own good sanity, because when you buckle the emotions in, it doesn't come out. It end up with stress, depression, and then it starts with mental issues. And then people who can't cope with mental issues and depression end up committing suicide. Okay, so
Or
let's
hurting other people.
or
It
hurting other people.
it never goes well.
That's it. That's it. So that's why we're creating awareness today. So thank you for that. And then someone said excellence. Thank you. I think we talk about something and she's saying excellent to it. And I've got someone say newness. Hello. Hi, newness. Thank you for joining us today. Right. Saying hello to Tim, right? Okay. And you have someone also say that what if the challenge that is affecting you is from a close friend? Example, in relationships, how do you handle it as a man?
Oh, so like if the problem that you're dealing with is the person you would talk to about it,
Yeah. Say like relationship, like we mentioned before. How do you
I
deal about this?
I mean, to me, that's the thing where you have to be able to you want to be in a relationship with someone who you can trust
That's it.
and who
Yeah.
you can talk to. And
Yeah.
assuming that precondition is true, if you're in a
Mm,
relationship with someone who's a good person for you to be in a relationship with, you talk to
yeah.
them,
Yeah.
you bring it up. But you also bring it up at a time when it's like you have done the work on your side
Right.
to be
Mm,
able to talk about it. Because
yeah.
one thing that can make it way worse is if you bring things up before you've really thought through it on your own side, and then it
True.
just becomes this like
Yeah.
splashy
Yeah.
emotional
Yeah.
argument kind of thing, and that doesn't help anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. The way you process things and the way you handle it is very important, because some of us, something happened recently. I wasn't happy about the situation, but then I sat down and then I thought through it, right? And I've learned something that I don't react immediately. Before I react, I need to sit down, think
Mm-hmm.
about it, or allow the situation to die down a bit before I handle it. Because when you are raging, right, when you're angry and raging and you react, you might do something dangerous,
Mm-hmm.
something very silly that after doing that you're going to regret it. So it's very important how we handle our own emotion. It's a step. So like Tim is saying, if you're in a relationship and maybe the person that, I mean, is causing whatever, um affecting your emotion is closer friend, then you need to know how to handle it first before you share it with the person. So it's very important processing, and how you handle it is very, very important. So yeah, thank you so much. And also someone is saying some gang. Okay, sorry, I've missed some comments, right? Okay. um okay, someone said that, or in a husband and a wife relationships, as man, how do you express your emotions? Okay, so like in a relationship as man, how do we express our emotions? I think we've mentioned few of them, how to express your emotions, isn't it? Talking about it and also processing it. And Tim was saying that the way you would talk, to talk to people, the people that you trust, you find people that you trust, to share your express your emotions. Like we said, Tim mentioned before that sometimes you can, if you like punching something, punching, boxing or something, it can help. That is one way for you to express your emotions. Also, talking. talking is very important. Talking is very, we talk about that. Talking is very important. So learn how to be open and talk. Find people that you can trust, to express your emotions to. And also, I mentioned that crying. Okay, I think crying too can help. There's a reason why we cry. So sometimes crying, sometimes when I'm in pain, I can cry. When I cry and cry and cry, when I finish crying, it's like everything is released. Well, people will say that that's women thing. Well, I don't think it's a women thing. I think it's for everyone.
I think I think it's important to say that it's a two-step process. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say so. I think crying. I think
Hmm.
boxing, running, doing it, like whatever it is, sitting
Yeah.
down in a quiet room and just
Right.
thinking to
Hmm.
yourself, like all of these are ways of like processing
Yeah.
what you're going through. But I
Hmm.
think talking as a follow-up is always important.
Important.
Like
Yeah.
you almost always, if it's something really significant, you almost always need to talk to someone,
Yeah.
but you want to process it first.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like
Process. Mhm.
coming in as a raw nerve,
Yeah.
instead, like after you've had that cry that you're
Yeah.
describing,
Yeah.
then you probably feel like you're in a place where you can talk to someone on the level about
Yeah.
it and not be quite so like spent.
Right. Yeah. So there's so many ways for you to express your emotions, not for you to be angry and raging or, killing people, because that's the point they can get to, hurting people. So immediately you're going through things, find a way that you can process it and find a way, find someone that you can talk to as well. All right. So some of that, these are the reasons, some of the ways you can express your emotions. Okay. And someone also saying drinking is still lack of not understanding how to positively manage emotions. Okay. Just like a person who choose suicide as option to deal with emotions. Okay. I don't know if you understand what the person is saying.
Yeah, so she's saying using drinking as a coping mechanism is
Yeah.
a way to avoid processing rather, similarly to suicide. I don't really agree
All right.
to that full extent because suicide, homicide, all of these like ending things, those are final.
At the
Like
final.
that,
Yeah.
that's like you don't get to process again. Once
Mm,
that happens, you're done.
right.
Drinking to me, uh, I mean, a lot of people were drinking to
Oh yeah.
deal with the pandemic.
Yeah.
When
Oh.
things were shut down, people were so
Mm,
depressed, and especially in New York, it was this like absolutely devastating situation.
mhm.
And basically, the governor of New York was like, "No, the liquor stores stay open," and that was because the
Yeah.
way people it was really important though because
Yeah.
everyone was on edge,
Yeah.
everyone was freaking out, and we weren't allowed to do anything about it. You just had
Yeah.
to sit there and stew in this misery, and it
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
make myself a cocktail and I'm gonna
Right.
sit here and I'm gonna take the edge off
Yeah.
and then I'll be able to breathe.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not suggesting alcohol is the answer,
Right. Yeah.
but
Mm,
some of these tools, these
mhm.
coping mechanisms are things that can help us get to the point where we
Yeah.
can actually reach the answer. So,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
if you have a drink to chill
Mm,
out and then you can talk about your problem, I'm not
yeah.
gonna judge you for it. I
Right. Yeah.
understand.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. So we can find other ways, like maybe not only like you said alcohol. We can find it can be even coke or something. Drink. So
Yeah.
the thing is, whilst we're saying that it's good for us to drink, but then you have to minimize it because it can end to different things altogether, complications in your health as well. So as he's saying that drinking, he's not saying that over drink too much,
Yeah,
until
I'm not talking about abusing it.
use it.
There's
Thank you. Yeah,
abuse where you're abusing alcohol and it's
exactly. That's
ruining your
different.
life.
Yeah,
And then there's using it as a coping strategy to put yourself in a place where you can like deal with what you're going through.
yeah, yeah,
There's a
yeah.
reason people drink when a family
Mm,
member dies. You know,
right. Mm-hmm,
it's just
mm-hmm.
it lets you get into a mental place where you can talk to people and be there for each other without being completely run over by grief.
Oh dear. Yeah. Right. Okay. So someone is also saying some gang members see gang as a heaven. Okay. Oh, as
A safe
safe,
haven.
safe heaven. I haven't heard that before.
So
Really?
you know the term safe haven.
No, to be honest,
Oh,
today's the
so
first time I'm hearing this.
it's like a safe space. It's where you can go and you can be yourself, right? So if you're allowed to go in, and if you're in a gang,
Mm,
those are people who, it's like the phrase ride or die, right?
right.
We're together on everything. We trust each other on
Yeah.
everything. We believe we we like implicitly trust each other. So you
Right.
can go and you can express things to these
Oh,
people.
okay.
And
Mm,
I said before, like, I think they tend to be really emotional people.
right.
There's a lot of expression of anger, but they're also able to like sit there and not be judged by the
Mm,
people around them for
mm,
the things that they feel.
yeah.
If you find yourself an angry person,
Mm,
another angry person doesn't necessarily judge you. They're just like, yeah, I get
yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
World
Sure.
sucks, right?
Okay.
And so,
Right.
yeah,
Mm,
it's
mm,
ultimately the same thing.
right.
Like you can have a gang of sad people sitting around expressing their emotions, and that's one kind of thing. You have a gang of angry people. It's just gangs of angry people tend to be a little more destructive.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Very educated. Thank you so much. Right. So I have someone also, David. David is saying that we have to learn how to control our anger when things go wrong or you get disappointed. That's what we said. So how to control your anger is very, very important. That's why we're saying that whilst you having any emotional trauma or you're going through any emotions, don't leave it for long, because that is when the problem will start. Because when you leave it for long, then you're going to do something that you'll be very disappointed. So controlling it start from how you process and also how you handle the situation. That is very
Mhm.
important. That's how you can control your anger. Yeah. Okay. I have someone also said newness. He said, this is such a needed conversation. Right. This is such a needed conversation. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments. It's very important. Like I said, we're talking about all these crimes and what do you call it? Suicide and all things. So that's what we handle all this. We're going to talk about women as well. We talk about the youth. We're talking about men now. We're going to go into the women. We need us to have our sanity, because I know people aside my work. I have had opportunity to work with people with mental issues or mental problems, right? And these are some of the things, because when they were going through, they couldn't control, and then they end up losing their mind, and then they end up in the mental homes. So we need to create that awareness of how to handle our emotions. All right. um okay, so I've got someone also saying talking to people. I like that point. Okay. So he's saying that we said that talk to people, and he's saying that he likes that point. Yeah. It's very important to talk. Okay. No matter whatever it is, talk. If you don't trust someone, find someone that you can trust. Okay. Because
Mhm.
talking helps. It's a therapy. Talking helps. Because sometimes when you go to counseling, the counselor will just sit down and listen to you for an hour to
Yeah.
let's talk, 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 talk. The moment you talk and talk and talk and talk, you get to a point whereby you feel like you've been relieved. There's something that's come out from you. It's very important. So talking is very important. I remember I went through a situation whereby I used to be someone who doesn't talk. I don't talk. Like when I'm going through things, I just keep it in me, process it, and then handle it. I don't talk. I don't share my problem with people. And it comes to a point whereby I did something very drastic in my life. And my dad, he's watching me. Thank you for watching. He said to me that he advised me that you are kind of person who don't share your problems. Please, when you're going through something, share. Find someone to talk about it, and that has helped me till now. So talking is very important. All right. And I have, yeah, Mr. Ajimai, Kusi Ajimai, nice discussion all the way. He's watching all the way from Belgium. Thank you. I have people watching from the US, from Ghana, from Nigeria, from Belgium, all over the globe. Thank you for watching. I have Amwako Lawrence watching from Ghana. He said that interesting discussion. Thank you. And I have Rose Owusu say, hey, that's my mom. She said, hi, very
Mhm.
important discussion that we need to learn more about ourselves in the relationship. It's true.
Mhm.
Relationship is very important. So wait, before you go in, Tim said that you need to be sure the person you go into relationship with. If you can't talk to the person and the person doesn't want to listen to you, then you have to, there's a question, there's a red flag, So making decision on the partner that you want to be with, that has to be part of it, isn't it? What do you say about that, Tim? Do you agree with me?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone just needs to be aware of what they're looking for
That's
in a
it.
relationship.
Yeah.
It could be that, I'm not going to say someone is wrong
Yeah.
if they say they're not looking for, a close. I would be surprised if
Right.
someone says I'm not looking for someone to share my emotions with
Mm.
in my
Yeah.
partnership. But
Yeah.
if they were like, that's really not what that's not what I'm about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you
Yeah.
know. But I think it's important to be honest with yourself about what you are looking for,
That's
and
it.
then actually elevate that importance to
Yeah.
making your decisions based on what you believe.
Yeah.
Don't be with someone that's not going to, be what you need.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one thing in this point of my life that I'm looking for in a relationship. I want someone who communicates.
Mm,
Communication to me is very, very important, right? And I want to be heard, because I see myself as a good listener. I do listen. I can give you all my time to listen because I have learned that through my journey and my education and my training to learn how to listen, be a good listener.
mm,
If I go for an interview now and as a health professional, they ask me, about, and I tell them I'm a good listener. That gives you a point because you need to listen because you meet
mhm.
people, on your way whereby they have to share their problems with you and you have to listen. So being a good listener is very important. Good communication skills, very important. So you have to look out for that in relationships. So don't just jump into relationship thinking, oh, the person is handsome, she's this, she's that, and then go in there. Because at the end of the day, if I have a husband or a partner that I can't share my problem with, then what's the point? To me, what's the point? What's the point? If I can come and share my problem with you, tell you that, listen, I went through this problem, or maybe I'm having these difficulties and I can't share with you. To me, I see no point being with you. That's me. That is
Yeah,
me.
yeah. I think that's what I mean. I
Yeah.
would say, like, I agree with you,
Yeah.
but that
Thank you.
is you, and
That's
people
it.
have other things they're looking for.
Of course.
And I can
Right.
think of a few things.
I think we'll have time to talk about that few things, right? Or maybe
Mm.
right. Thank you so much, Tim. Thank you so much. It's been a very, you can see out of the comments. I have a lot of comments on the phone and WhatsApp everywhere, and all that. The team has also got the comments and all that. If we say we're going to read all the comments, I don't think we'll finish today because
I have to go shoot a movie,
I
guys.
know,
I'm
I
sorry.
know. So we'll keep the comments for now, and then maybe our next episode, if we can read them and then quickly go through that, and if possible, we can get Tim to come back on the Pinky Room show.
I'll have a better camera. I won't be in the hotel next time.
That's it. You see,
Yeah.
you've done well. You tried. I've told you some of the celebrities that I do interviews. Sometimes I want to cry on the show because they're driving at the same time talking. And you see
Yeah.
all the distractions and stuff. But one thing I do appreciate that because they made the effort. They
Mhm.
tried their best, even though they are tired, they are busy. But then they said I will come on the show, and they did come. And so for that I really really appreciate that. So aside all the distraction, I'm so grateful to have them on the show. So thank you so much for your busy schedule and going to shoot your movie. But yes, still you gave yourself a time to spend time with us on the Pink Room Show, and you have shared a vital and very educative, things on the Pink Room Show. So thank you so much. But before you go, we want you to act a little bit something, I don't know. Yeah. Let's
Okay. What
right.
is it? I don't,
Anything.
anything.
Okay, let's say
This
maybe you
whole thing has been acting. We're just
acting,
improvising.
isn't it? Okay, so
Yeah.
something like maybe you are in a relationship and then maybe your partner is not listening to you and you are going through emotional problems or something you want to discuss and the person is not listening. How are you going to act? Like something little for us.
Wait. Okay. Someone's not listening to my problems, and
Let's say
I'm just
your
playing
partner,
myself.
maybe your girlfriend, your partner. You going through problems and maybe you've come from your work, and you had a challenging time at work and you're trying to communicate to her, but she's not listening to you. A
Yeah.
little bit of acting there.
Yeah, it was just a long day.
Right.
You don't. That's all you have to say.
Mm-hmm.
You're just gonna say right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I know your thing is like to listen to
Yeah.
people. That's what you like to do. But I need you to contribute to this conversation right now.
Right. Mm.
I feel. I think am I alone in this relationship? Am I the only one? You're not. You have nothing.
Mm.
Do you know what this feels like for me when I come home after being at work all day
Right.
and I get back and this is all you give me?
Right. Wow.
Rachel, come on.
Right. Right. Wow.
I don't know if this is going to work.
Wow. Wow.
I'm I'm sorry. I've got to go.
Come back, Tim.
I couldn't tell if you were like scared or what.
Wow, that is amazing. Oh, wow. It was looking like a real thing. Like, the way your facial expression, your attitude, and everything. My God, you are too much an actor. Trust me. Oh, God. Thank you so much, guys. You just saw what happened now. Right. I was so much into what he was saying, the way he was acting. If you don't know, you haven't seen his movie, Tim, tell us where we can watch your movies and all that, and your project that's coming out and all that, where we can find you, social media platforms and all that, please.
Yeah, so I don't know what's available in the different world regions. I know right
Yeah,
now on Netflix, Here Love Lies is available across the world. That was a
yeah,
Nollywood movie directed by Topeo Shin.
yeah,
That's probably the biggest one that's out right now.
yeah. On
On
Netflix.
Peacock, there's a Christmas movie. Some of it was in the promo for Pinky
Right.
Room Show.
Yeah.
That's called A Merry Single Christmas or something.
Wow.
It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
And I've got 3 or 4 coming out right now, or that I'm working on right now that are going into post production. So those will be coming out soon-ish.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Netflix is the one. Go check out the movie
Yeah,
on Netflix.
that's why
That's
I
the
saw.
one that's everywhere.
That's why I saw Tim. I saw him on the Netflix movie, and I
Yeah.
said to myself, the way you acted and everything. I said, wow, who is this man? Where has it been? I'm looking for him. I said, I'm gonna pull him to come on the Pink Room show. But then it wasn't difficult at all. He's such a nice person. Trust me. I just asked. He said, yeah, why not? Someone like this, who's got, he's too big. He's too big. He's too big. But thank God a Pink Room to show is also big. A Pink Room show to is big. So thank you so much, team. Your social media handles. If anybody's looking for you on social
It's just
media.
Tim Shelburne, my full name on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm not on there a lot, but
Yeah.
I'm not really a social media guy.
Right. But we need to watch you. So he's got some of the movies as well, the trailers and stuff. Go and watch it. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's just a tip of the what you see is just a tiny tip of the iceberg.
We're getting there, guys. We're getting
yeah,
there.
you're doing very well. Trust me. Go and watch the other one that I watched with. Is it Tokwe? He was screaming, Amanda. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much, Tim. That's amazing. Thank you for having me on the show. I have few. Okay, someone is saying thank you, Tim. All right, and someone is saying wow, good acting, and someone is also saying that and the way he walked out, the way he acted, and you got up and you walked out, it was like for real, right? Thank you so much. And someone is also saying thank you, Tim. Thank you, Princess Roy. God bless you both. Thank you for watching. You have made our day very great. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments and everything. Please, if I didn't read your comment, forgive me. Forgive me, please. Because I know different platform. Abedin has got their own comments. YK has got their own comments. Plus Roy Network has got their own comments. A lot is going on everywhere. So if I couldn't pick up your comments, forgive me, right? We will read it another time. Thank you, Tim, for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I wish we didn't go, but then you need to go.
It is what it is.
It
Duty
is what.
calls. All
Yes,
right.
definitely. We'll get you back on the Pink Room show. Obviously, even if you don't come, I'm going to pull you from the US myself.
Oh,
I'm
okay. Let's
gonna-
do it.
Right. Thank you so much. I'm going to say bye bye to Tim now, and yeah, like I said, another time we will definitely have him back on the show.
All
Thank you.
right.
It's been wonderful having you on the show. Thank you. See
Bye,
ya.
everyone.
Bye
Thank you
bye.
all.
Bye bye. Right. Okay, guys. So if you are watching the Pink Room Show, you can see the wonderful time we've had on the Pink Room Show. Very educative topic that we talk about. There's a lot that's been shared on the Pink Room Show. Tim has shared a lot, very educative, advice and all that motivation. I mean, things that for us to learn how to express our emotions, how to express your emotion as a man. How do you express your emotions, and how you will handle, how you process it. Okay, it's very important. And the other side, those that are listening to someone, or if somebody is in a relationship with you, or a mother, a father, a sister, a friend, don't be too judgmental. If someone is sharing their problems with you, don't be too judgmental. Try and be a listener. Listen to them. Don't judge them, and help them. Okay. And find a way that you can help them so that they can express themselves to you. Because many people have it difficult. Because of some of them out of fear, some of them out of feeling that they feel judge being judged, because they're thinking, okay, this person I'm going to talk to, how is the person going to judge me? Okay. And also, like Tim said, don't also try and understand or believe what they tell you. It doesn't matter whatever you think it is, or what a situation, or what you've seen before. It's very important. Try to believe what they say at that moment. Believe it. Listen to them. Don't be judgmental, right? Especially the relationship. Women, we are saying that our men don't communicate. How do we handle them? How do we handle the situation? How do we listen to them? Do we believe them? Do we trust what they're saying? Are we being judgmental or not? Very, very important, because people have to trust you to share their problems with you. And people don't want to feel judgmental. It's very, very important. So this is what we discussed on the Pink Room Show. So if you missed today, because we're going to go off, if you missed today, it's streaming live still on Roy Network on YouTube, Aberdeen TV, YKA TV. Okay, so you still can watch it there. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share and comments. Okay, so subscribe to the Roy Network on YouTube so that every time we come live with this kind of topics, right, you will receive an alert, and you will be aware that we are live, so that you can join and enjoy this wonderful time with us on the Pink Room Show. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of the week. Have a blessed and a wonderful week. Let me tell you something. Next month is my birthday month. Okay. So expect something grand on the Pink Room Show. Love you all. God bless. Take care. Bye bye.